Good day everyone, Trainer Maxim with you. Thank you very much for joining me for this quick fix series. Today we're going to address the hip compression exercise to make it easier. Before we continue, I want to thank everyone for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. Your comments, suggestions are greatly appreciated. Of course, your generosity and my support angels. Thank you. Thank you everyone. One of the most effective exercises to develop the hip compression is the following. When you sit like this and try to bring the legs up. 1, 2, and 3. Why it's called hip compression? Because we try to engage the hip flexors muscles, which are flexing the hip, and we try to ask them to shorten to the point to which they typically don't shorten. We want them to exhaust all the capacity of shortening for those muscles, so that we can create really nice compression between the leg and the torso. That is highly beneficial for many skills in gymnastics or any other skills, squats, press to handstands, and etc. And it's quite difficult for the first time. For the first time when you try to do this exercise, it looks approximately like this. 1, 2, 3, nothing moves. Or just like this, 3, 4, 5. A lot of times people do this exercise this way. 1, and 2, and 3. This one is okay, however, the lift is coming not from the hip flexors, not entirely from the hip flexors, but mostly from the core. When you allow the front of the core pull on the spine into the crunch, one with the arms push back, and yes, the legs are going up, but just simply because they're attached to the pelvis. Pelvis is the part of the spine. Spine goes into the crunch, crunch. You go and push the spine back, and the legs are going up. So it's actually core exercise more if done in this way rather than the hip flexors exercises. For that reason, we really want to do this exercise this way. Spine tall, shoulders open, thighs rotated in, and you go and lift only the legs relative to the pelvis. So the pelvis is not moving, the legs are going up. Your hip flexors are working hard to shorten as much as they can, to bring the leg to their end of the range of motion, to compress the hip, and we go from there. However, very often it's difficult because we don't really use all the hip flexors available to us. We have minor and major hip flexors. Minor hip flexor is your assistant one, the quads, your rectus femoris, it's attached here and here to the pelvis. So in theory, it's capable of bringing the leg up just a tiny bit to assist you. But only as an assistant. The major hip flexors, we have 3, but we will talk about 2 of them. The first one is psoas major. It's attached to the spine here and goes down inside the pelvis, exits here, and attach itself here to the leg. And that's how it can lift the leg up by shortening here, pulling on the leg up. 1, 2, and 3. And the second hip flexors, very big one, is iliacus. Iliacus placed inside the hip, at the bottom of the hip from the inside, and it goes and exits here and uses exactly the same tendon as the psoas major. So they're sharing the tendon, so iliacus is attached to the same spot. But often we don't use iliacus to lift the legs up, and we're trying to lift the legs up only using the psoas major. And that is heavy for psoas major. And the other drawback of this, when psoas major works on its own, we might pull the lower back muscles, since the psoas major is attached to the spine, to the vertebra, and there are a lot of nerves going on there. So if you over-engage it a little bit, you might squeeze the nerves there or pull that muscle, and that will give you a very, very nasty grief. Versus iliacus is attached to the pelvis and to the leg using the same tendon. Even if you over-engage the iliacus, it will not give you any bad sensations because it's attached to the pelvis. There are no nerves there, really. There is nothing to pull there. There are no vertebrae here. But we often don't use the iliacus, and we want to use it because if you engage the iliacus, since it shares the same tendon with the psoas major, then essentially they will be working together, giving you 50% from iliacus, 50% from psoas major, so sharing the workload. And as a result, the compression will be much more powerful and easier as a result. And also your legs will not feel heavy, The reason why it feels heavy when you try to lift it, in the absence of any work from iliacus, the psoas major is kind of, not the psoas, but the brain is requesting help from the front leg muscle, from your rectus femoris. And rectus femoris, it's a part of the quads, right? They all share one tendon here, and we have four quad muscles. 1, 2, 3, 4. They also fuse into one tendon to extend the knee. And when the brain asks the front of the leg muscles for assistance, your rectus femoris, by extension, you might engage the entire section, the entire quadriceps. But it's not productive because only one of the quadriceps muscles attached to the pelvis. The rest attach leg. So the rest of the muscles are incapable of bringing the leg up, but they will be anyway engaged because you cannot segregate well at this point those muscles, and you will feel a lot of tension in this front leg. 1 and 2, and the legs will be so tense, and they will be cramping a lot because you engage in the 3 of the quad muscles for nothing, since they cannot pull on the leg up. They're attached here and here. No way they can bring the leg up, and as a result they cramp. Not a good sensation. So we really want to access the iliacus muscles and make the iliacus work together with the psoas major. How we do this? There is one really easy trick. You picture that your hip bones are hugging your groin. I know it's not going to hug anything, but because you're placing your mind into the hip bones, and that's where the iliacus is attached, very close to the hip bones, there are good chances that you're going to engage the iliacus muscles. So when you think hip bones are going and hugging the groin, you're asking the iliacus for help, and now you're sharing the workload to lift the legs up between the iliacus and the psoas major. See what's going to happen. Let's compare two approaches. I don't use this cue, hip bones to the groin, and trying to lift my legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel very good tension here. Iliacus is off. Brain is asking for help from this guy. All the guys are becoming tense. I feel that the legs are heavy. I feel some interesting sensation in the lower back because it's too much for psoas major to lift the leg up. No good. Now I'm going to use the cue hip bones hugging the groin as I'm trying to lift the legs, and see what's going to happen. Spine tall, shoulders, thighs rotated in, hip bones hugging the groin, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now it's much easier for me even to hold it. I barely feel any tension here, and I feel a very good compression here. It's a sensation as if you were trying to squeeze a coin between the leg and the torso, and that's exactly what we need. 1, and hold it. With the iliacus engaged, now I don't feel any sensation here, since the workload is shared between those two muscles, since they share one tendon here. Now they work together. I have good compression. I have much less engagement here, since now those guys are working together. The brain does not request the assistance from this guy much. As a result, I can do something with these guys. I can move them while maintaining my compression strength. And also, it does not give me an incentive to compromise my position and do something like this. Engage more core. And that position we want to avoid because, as I mentioned before, it's not engaging hip flexors at 100%. Some engagement, but mostly from the core. So let's finalize. You sit tall, legs rotated in, shoulders open, spine tall, upper spine up, lower spine pushing down and away into the floor, and you think hip bones hugging the groin to engage the iliacus as you lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and done. Rest. Good. And if you do this, you will feel much better, much more powerful, and it will be beneficial for your other squats, for your other skills such as squats, press to handstands, and any exercises where the hip flexion is required. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Try. Please let me know how it went, how it worked for you. Drop a comment, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much. Training Maxim with you. Bye bye.